Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to this special LinkedIn Live session with Human Power Solutions. I'm Sandra Coker, CEO of HPS, author of People Profit, and the host of the People Profit podcast, where we dive into strategies for building teams and cultures that boost your bottom line. Today, I am thrilled to have the one, the only, Mr. Craig Siegel joining me today. Hey, Craig, how are you? Oh, can't hear you, Craig.
Can you hear me now?
Now we can. Yep. Awesome.
What I was saying was that just to get you to spend a little bit extra time with you on this beautiful Monday afternoon. Couldn't think of a better place to be. Thank you for having me. I'm so pumped.
I love it. I love it. Craig, you're a Wall Street Journal and USA Today best-selling author of The Reinvention Formula, a global keynote speaker, mindset coach, my coach, to be honest, as well, TEDx speaker, marathoner, we can talk about that, and the dynamic force behind CLS, Cultivate Lasting Symphony, and the CLS Experience podcast, which ranks globally in the 0.05% globally. I think it's awesome. So we want to today just jump on real quick to celebrate your recent episode of the People Profit podcast, and where we explored mind shifts for bold leadership. We'll also get a sneak peek at your new exciting programs launching in 2026. So if you're a leader ready to level up, this is for you. Drop any comments you have during this quick episode. Craig, during our podcast episode that we did a couple weeks ago, or actually we just dropped on Monday, it was all about helping leaders, find their next bold move. What's one standout takeaway from our conversation that viewers can apply right now to shift their mindsets and overcome some self-doubt they may be having?
You asked me something on the podcast about how can leaders be more innovative. And I think that just the idea about whatever desire a conscious leader has to be able to make a massive impact, it's not even bold enough. So in order to really think about how big you can play in 2026 to make a gigantic impact, it's going to require a different identity of you. Because whatever got you here, even if someone listening right now is having a good amount of quote unquote success, that identity got you here. I want to encourage your listeners in your community to think so beyond what might be logical, so beyond what they might have been used to or familiar, that to create this type of quantum leap in 2026 requires a different identity. Because I'm not interested in incremental progress. And I mean this with all due respect, because I know there's a lot of people out there that talk about 1% better every day, right? Or just keep moving the needles a little bit. That's fine. Absolutely. But I want to play in a different reality about massive leaps, how you can make such a bigger impact for your people, contributing for your organizations, your companies, or your community, whatever that looks like. And by doing that, you can actually have more access to become even more resourceful if you just consider something that's so far beyond what the current version of you can fathom. So that's what really excited me, and that's what I want to encourage everybody to play around with in 2026.
That's awesome. So in the Reinvention Formula in your book, which I've read and I loved it because it was such a great read. You and I have talked prior, and early in my career, Tony Robbins I saw him back in 1993. Jim Rohn, I've seen a bunch of times, and I feel like you're like the next one coming up. And that's, because I think a lot of people need to hear it, right? So in your Reinvention Formula, people that haven't been exposed to this kind of thing, you talk about replacing your limiting beliefs with empowering ones. How does this approach help organizations build those resilient teams, especially like today, we're moving so fast? How does that help?
So limiting beliefs are something that everybody has to navigate. So even more specifically, there's limiting beliefs. We all have these gremlins, or in the wisdom of Kabbalah, we might say tikkun, something that we're here to transform and correct. We have assumptions, interpretations. All these things are supplied to us by the logical mind, or by the opponent, the ego, if you will. And so the idea here is to stay in the thought-provoking, empowering questions, right? Because even just having answers, by the way, is very limiting, right? So if someone's like, what is your goal this year? I want to generate $5 million in the business. Where did that number come from? To some extent, that is a limitation, right? Now, some might be thinking, well, you got to be realistic. Like, then why not just say a billion? Well, why not actually? Right. So the whole point is that when you replace the limitations, the limiting beliefs with something more empowering, like a question, then you open up a completely different reality. So, for example, if somebody was listening right now and they're like, all right, I want to, for the materialistic goals for 2026, I can't afford a new Mercedes or a Rolex or a vacation home. Instead of saying that, would you be willing to just say or ask, how could I afford that? And you see the difference right there is, instead of putting a hard stop in limitations, I can afford that, by just asking, how could I afford that? Now you have access to a different reality and a channel for more resourcefulness. Maybe it's, who do you have to reach out to that can connect you? Who might be able to help you? Or what might be a download or a divine idea that you didn't have before the conversation? So the idea is to always be conscious. That's why we're always elevating our self-awareness, to be aware of the limitations, the limiting beliefs, and then try your best to replace those with something more empowering. I highly encourage a thought-provoking question.
Yeah. Love that. Let's talk about the episode. If you guys want to dive into the episodes, People Profit Podcast, Craig's episode was just dropped on Monday of this week. So go ahead and if you want to hear a lot of his nuggets. But I really, I've been looking at your 2026 program that you've got coming up, and I'm really excited for the audience to hear more about that. Can you talk about what the program is, what inspired the initiative, and how will it help participants cultivate lasting success in their personal and professional lives?
Yeah, so I think the one that you're referring to is probably Activate. We had a masterclass on Friday. I delivered it from Miami. We had 1,300 people registered, and it was called Awaken. And the idea was to just bring awareness to what's possible, because I don't believe just goal setting and intention setting is enough. I know it's a good time of year for everybody to get excited about the new year, and as they should. But if we don't change the identity, the results won't change, right? That's why I forgot what date it is, but there's something called Quitters Day, sadly, where everybody that does the New Year's resolution, whether it's a new gym or something, they typically quit like maybe second or third week in January. So the idea is, I want to make sure that that doesn't happen for my people, for the people that we're calling in, that we really want. Look, I believe that we're here to help people reveal a lot of light in the world. And a lot of people that are brought into my movie are instruments to be able to do so. But it's not enough to just be inspiring. We need transformation. And so I created a 4-week intensive, or maybe a little bit of an immersive for just 4 weeks in a row. No big deal. Not such a heavy of a lift, but we're going to go really deep. It's a 4-week transformation. On week 1, how to activate, how to even turn the light on, right? Week 2, how to expand and actually stretch your capacity or your vessel so you could actually be able to receive more. Week 3, we're going to be talking about integration, how to actually make it real. This is where alignment becomes a new normal. And then week 4, a lot of strategy, clarity, but also embodying, right? Because without embodiment, it's just a wish. And so the reason I created this is because, number one, 4 weeks is not very scary. Anybody can go through 4 weeks. We made it affordable. But I think it's very important. I know for me personally, to start the year off with the right consciousness, working on yourself, with strategy, with accountability. Now, when you talk about this idea of momentum, it's not just maybe, it becomes inevitable. And so I want to be able to help as many people get on fire, elevate their awareness, integrate, embody, make a decision, and really start becoming who they were meant to be in this world.
So you said a couple of things there that I think a lot of coaches and a lot of people in this self-development, personal development space don't often say. We've made it doable and affordable. Like accessing, like allowing people to access what you offer, I think is just huge. Because so much of it's out of people's price ranges, right? Or it's such a long program that they can't. They feel like they can't do it. So I think that's really, really, really incredible. So when we talk for the viewers that are out here and the ones that are going to be watching this on the recording, many of whom are HR leaders, CEOs, and team builders, what's one practical step that they could take away today to start their own reinvention journey perhaps drawing from some of your coaching strategies or from the CLS, philosophy.
Yeah. And by the way, the reason we made this so affordable is because we do many other things. As you know, you're currently in level 2, and we have
Yeah.
level 3 and one-on-one. There's a whole suite, a whole path for people. But
Right.
these mini courses are kind of a one-off because they're not intimidating. There's no fuller commitment other than that. And it's really a way to help a lot more people. So I just want to name that. In regards to something tangible that HRs and all them can implement, being able to really extract the best out of your employees, your staff, your community, your team members is really the key here, right? Because, and by the way, being a great coach, being a great speaker, being great at your job is not the same as being a great leader, right? So this is a muscle that must be flexed. It's a skill that has to be developed. So number one, being able to be empathetic, compassionate, but being able to really connect with people, right? So if people, from my experience, if people aren't really connected to the mission, they're going to burn out or they're going to find themselves misaligned or they'll be gone, especially in a generation that I've noticed where people don't stay as long as they used to in one spot. So you really have to make people feel seen, take care of them, compensate them, but make sure that they're a part of something bigger as a collective unit, as a collective consciousness. Being able to reconnect them to the mission at hand, for me, has been so prolific in being able to extract people's greatness and really have them actually overachieve and expand their capacity. So it's not enough to just have a good job. People need to really connect to what it is that you're doing and the movement and mission that you're on.
That's awesome. Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate you taking the time to quickly jump on with us today on live. I appreciate it. That wraps up our quick but powerful session.
Thank you, I want to ask you a question.
Yeah.
What are you most excited about right now?
For this upcoming year, for the expansion that and the changes that I'm making in my own thinking and my own philosophy, how I'm approaching 2026. It's limitless. So I'm really excited about pretty much everything that we have going on.
What is something that you're letting go of that can't come with you as you ascend to your next level in 2026?
Yeah. I have what's not going to follow me is my doubts, I guess, in myself. We're rolling out a couple of new initiatives that are brand new for me, that I've never done. And normally I'd say, well, it's a crapshoot. It's actually not. So I think for me, it's like, no, the world needs this. And I'm the one to bring it out. So I think that's going to be huge for me.
Beautiful. It makes such a big difference because it's not always about just putting up the sales. Sometimes you got to yank the anchor, and oftentimes doubt can really weigh us down. So the idea is to make sure that your desire is bigger than the doubt. One other thing I wanted to ask you, if you don't mind me putting on you the spot a little bit.
No, sure. Yeah.
Community to get inside scoop of you too, because I know how amazing you are and how special you are. I want to get that. So what is something that, now that you told me that you're letting go of doubt, or that's something that you're working on, what is something that you're really excited to embody in this next season for you?
I'm really looking forward to embodying my, what's the word I'm looking for? My thought leadership. I think that's something that I know my thought leadership is progressive, in a way that's good. And I just normally will say, well, who am I to say that? But actually I am someone to say that.
It's amazing. I love that you said that. And also, it's not about you have to become someone else. You have to remember who you really are. And I love that you're on this path. I love that the work that you're doing. I love that you're stretching yourself. And I couldn't be more in your corner. And I'm so pumped for you for what's going to be your biggest year yet. Absolutely, no question, 2026.
Oh, well, thank you. Just pump me right up again, as you always do. Thank you so much for sharing your wisdom and giving me a little bit of a little pump up, and also giving us a glimpse into your work. Leaders, if you haven't followed Craig Siegel on anything, please follow him everywhere on LinkedIn, on everywhere on social media. His episode on People Profit podcast, like I said, dropped on Monday. So head over there to get his full insights on the mindset mastery, and keep an eye out for any of the programs that he is launching, especially the new one for 2026. It's going to be a game changer for anyone who's ready to unlock their potential. If this resonated with you, please like, share, and comment below with your key takeaway. Follow us both for more on leadership and growth. Craig, where can viewers connect with you and learn more about your programs?
Not too hard to find. You go to our
I know
website,
you're not.
cultivatelastingsymphony.com, Reinvention Formula book, the podcast, the CLS Experience, Instagram at Craig Siegel _CLS. We have a free texting community. We always drop wisdom and updates, and it seems to be like a timely nugget. Feel free to join it. You just text 917-634-3796. Text the word Sandra so that I know that it came from here. But also, someone had a quick question in the chat. I thought it'd be good if we just answered it in real time. If you're open.
Oh, yeah, sure. I didn't see it.
It said Craig talks about what we are called to do on the episode. Can you expand on that? I love the question. So we all have a soul contract or divine assignment that we're here to do, right? And so that's why oftentimes, if you're doing something that doesn't light you up, it's great feedback that you're probably misaligned. Because we do have a big mission, we do have gifts, and it's our responsibility as a soul contract that we signed to really work hard in elevating our level of awareness so we can identify what that is and find out how to share that with the world in a big way. And I believe that the winning ticket is to be able to do that and unapologetically monetize the hell out of it. So it never really feels like you're working, because you're doing what you love, you're doing what you're good at, utilizing your gifts, and you're making a lot of money. And so when I talk about what we are called to do, it's you have to, by the way, you have to create that space. Like I took a quick 3-day trip to Miami. I just got back yesterday. And the intention behind that trip was I just needed to get in my environment. I do this every year around this time, and I just take some time, preferably in some nicer weather.
Yeah.
I connect. And when you have that space, just by opening a space and asking the questions, now you have a vessel. And a vessel must be fulfilled. But if you don't take time, if you don't create the space, if you don't ask the questions, you'll never receive those downloads. So for you, if you're not even sure what that is, just find the time, connect, pray, go for a walk, speak, ask questions, and really just ask, what am I called to do? What are my gifts? What am I really good at? Are there some commonalities in between? And you got to be willing to try some new things. And if you're not happy in your current career, don't be sad. It's unbelievable feedback that there is indeed something else bigger and more out there for you.
As you knew when you left Wall Street, successful career. Yeah, amazing. Way, thank you.
It does take courage, and you got to be brave.
Yeah, and you gotta know when to lean on people too. But that's opening the vessel, right, and being able to know who to tap into.
You nailed it, like you always do.
Awesome. Well, thanks for tuning in, everyone. Craig, again, thank you so much for your time today. Let's make 2026 our year of reinvention. See you soon.
Good to see you.
Take care.